is to respect one another and give enough opportunity to anybody who will be talking without coming up with a lot of interjections. And when you interject, you consume time and you also derail. So mine is just to say, please, let us listen, let us follow, and any witness, of course, on this side, we only have one witness. Let us deliberate in a sober manner. For the members of Select Committee, we are here on behalf of Parliament, and Parliament is a house of records and order. Let us maintain the same order that we maintain in the chambers and demonstrate maturity in whatever we are doing. Let us also know that when we are here, the entire nation is watching and we are looking for justice for everybody. Let us continue as a team. And as I conclude, I want to thank the media people who have been with us since yesterday and will continue being with us. Before we give the opportunity to the CS and his council, I have a communication to make. Honorable members, as you will recall, during the pre-trial hearing on Tuesday, 7th May 2024, and before the hearing yesterday, Honorable Jack Wanami Wamboka MP requested that the committee considers enhancing his security. He was concerned that since sponsoring the motion on the impeachment of the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, he has had strange persons and cars following him. The committee has considered this request and found it to be a weighty issue. In the light of this, the committee has resolved to refer this request to Parliamentary Service Commission, which is tasked with providing services and facilities for the well-being of the Member of Parliament. I thank you. Honorable members, again, you recall yesterday we stayed the determination of the request by the sponsor of the motion, Honorable Wanami Wamboka, MP, to invite and summon two witnesses, namely the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Agriculture and Managing Director for Kells Chemicals Limited. Honorable members, in this regard, the committee resolved to first hear the evidence of the Cabinet Secretary before making its determination on the matter. Again, we shall therefore proceed to hear the Cabinet Secretary and thereafter make our determination just as we agreed last night. Please be advised accordingly. I thank you.
Honorable Chair, there was a request by my learned friend. Maybe he can articulate it so that we don't begin, then we are back to housekeeping issues.
Just a minute before we allow you to do that. Council, you said that it is on housekeeping.
He says he has an application to make before you. So, and because it is his application, it's best you hear from him. Then, of course, the committee can make whatever decision it will make once he makes the request he wants to make.
So can you introduce him properly to us so that we are not dealing with any stranger?
He is called Mwenda Njegi, and he's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya.
May I allow the members to get some opportunity for clarification before I rule on that? Honorable Tandaza.
Thank you, Chair. I don't know at what point this committee will entertain legal counsels outside the petitioner and the Waziri's side. So from where I sit, I don't think we'll be having that latitude and time at this point on time to entertain him unless he had probably made the prior application and deliberated on it but not on the floor. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Tandaza, Vice Chair. Before I come to the Vice Chair, Honorable Malulu.
Now, from where I sit, when it comes to such an application, is it not supposed to come to you, or is supposed to come to one of the parties to this motion?
Thank you. You've made your point. Honorable Dr. Rachel.
Thank you, Chair. Council said that it's a housekeeping matter, and housekeeping matters majorly are arising from our deliberations. And in his introduction, he does not, the lead counsel for the Cabinet Secretary doesn't want to fully own him. He is known to him, but he is not part of their team. That is what I heard from the introduction. So I think it is important, Chair, now that we have two parties here, the side of the Honorable Wanami, who is the sponsor of this motion, and the side of the Cabinet Secretary, it is important that we are clear on which side does he come from, and two, if it is housekeeping, what does it emanate from? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable, and may I allow Honorable Chepkonga.
I thank you, Chair. You know, we don't want to deny him an opportunity, but the rule of procedure is that you ordinarily write to the clerk. Then that application will be committed to this committee, and it will be sent to the chair. Once the chair has looked at it, because I hear from Dr. Thiangulu is saying the two parties, then in terms of his audience here, he doesn't have it unless he writes to the clerk and it is committed to this committee.
Thank you, Senior Counsel. Who else want to? Honorable TJ.
Well, after Chepkonga spoke, perhaps I wouldn't have. But Council should know that he has a right to be in this room. This is a public proceedings. He can sit where he is. He can take notes. He can listen to everything. But that doesn't give him right of audience. That doesn't give him right of audience because Council must be aware of the Constitution, and if he reads Article 152, the only persons of interest would be the person that is represented by the other side and the sponsor. Now, and yet he's coming not as a Kenyan, he's coming as an advocate. So an advocate, when he comes here with that hat, must represent somebody. You can't. There are many people here in the gallery who are lawyers, but they come here as Kenyans. So if he comes as a Kenyan, that is all right. But if he comes as an advocate, then he must represent somebody. If he does, then we must have received notice. Even the notice of what is called housekeeping business, we need to have notice of what this thing is generally about. So I think that should be it.
Thank you, Sir George.
Yes.
Senior Counsel.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. I don't think we are prepared to take a risk. We are doing this in a full public glare of what is happening. We don't know what application is going to be made, and it's about what. And once it goes out, we are not able to retrieve it if it is not part of these proceedings. The most appropriate way to do this is to have had the application in writing. It's given to the chairperson, or possibly will circulate it to us. Then we make a decision whether we want to entertain it or not, when we have a prior knowledge of exactly what the application is all about.
Thank you. Vice Chair.
Chair, I think I support what the members have said. Let it be in writing and forwarded to you. Thank you.
I think the message is quite clear. The members here, as I said, Parliament is a house of records and order. We wouldn't want to interact with anything that we are not familiar with. We need to be informed so that we can allow what we have already agreed on. And for that reason, I suggest that he does, or the team, you do what we need to do so that I can make the communication to the members and allow, unless and I think there is no unless, because members have already decided and agreed that we follow the right procedure, and then we will know what to do when that is followed. Thank you. I also suggest, because there are some members of Parliament who are already up there, and if he's not supposed to be here, he can join the others as he makes his application so that we can allow him in at the appropriate time. Thank you. Yeah, he can be at the public gallery and follow the proceedings as you also do the other bit. Thank you. So without wasting more time, it is time for Honorable Franklin Mithika Linturi, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, to come as the first witness. And this is the re-examination and cross-examination will happen, and we will advise accordingly. And he has 4 hours. Thank you. The clerk, I advise that the oath be administered by our clerk. Thank you.
I, Mithika Linturi, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matter under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Now, good morning, sir. Please, can you confirm for the record what is your official name?
My official name is Franklin Mithika Linturi.
Again, this is just for the record. Is the person now before the committee the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development?
Yes.
Have you placed before this honorable committee your instrument of appointment?
Yes.
Where is it to be found?
I think Bantu 17, let me check.
Perhaps as you look for it, can you confirm whether you saw the affidavit now before this committee, the big document you're holding? Did you swear that affidavit?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And the letter of my appointment, of the instrument of appointment, is on bundle number 1.
Document number 1. That would be page 38, Honorable Chair and members. So, the Honorable Linturi, are you happy with this affidavit being admitted by the committee as part of your evidence?
I am.
How about the documents attached to it? You have attached, I believe, 23 documents to it.
I am comfortable with them.
So, Honorable Chair, we pray that the affidavit and the documents attached to it, their 23 number, be admitted as part of the official record before you. Honorable Linturi, again by way of background, is this office of Cabinet Secretary the only public office you've held in your life?
No, I've held other offices.
Please tell us briefly which are these other offices that you have held and when you held them.
I've been a member of Parliament for Igembe South constituency and the Senator from Meru County.
When and for how long were you member of Parliament for Igembe South?
I was a member of Parliament for Igembe South for 10 years and the Senator Meru County for 5 years.
As member of Parliament for Igembe, did you ever hold any offices within Parliament?
Yeah, I remember I was the chair of the Public Investments Committee in my first term as a member of Parliament. I was a member of different committees when I served as a member in the National Assembly.
Would I be correct to say that those are the offices listed in paragraph 2 of your affidavit, sir?
Paragraph 2.
That would be on
Yes.
page, I believe, 4 and 5.
Yes.
No, sorry, it's page 4, Honorable Chair. Honorable Linturi, it says you held various offices in the National Assembly, various offices in the Senate. How would you describe your tenure while holding those offices?
I believe that I served those offices with honor and dignity, with distinction, because my record speaks for itself.
Honor, dignity, and distinction. In those 15 years, sir, were there complaints that you should relinquish those state offices because of allegations of gross misconduct?
Not at all.
Not at all. Let's come to the business at hand. Are you aware why we are here, sir? Have you read the motion against you?
Yes, I have.
I want us to look at that motion. I don't know whether you have a copy of it. You have a copy of the motion, sir?
Yes.
I want you to go to page 2 of that motion. There is an allegation, Honorable Linturi, that you have grossly violated the Constitution, specifically Article 2, Article 10(1)(c). What is your response to that allegation?
My response is that I have not.
You are also accused in that ground, sir, at Roman 2. Now let's stick to Roman 1 first. Of failing You acted as a state officer by implementing a public policy to approve the procurement of fake fertilizer. My question to you, do your duties as Cabinet Secretary extend to making public procurement approvals?
No.
As a matter of fact, we sat here yesterday and we kept asking for this approval. Have you been shown any approval that you supposedly made on public procurement?
I'm still waiting for one.
You're still waiting for one?
Yeah, which hasn't come.
Please confirm that your duties are described at paragraph 6 of your affidavit.
Yes.
Do those duties, as outlined there, extend to approving public procurement decisions?
Not at all.
I want to show you, sir, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. Can you read for us section 5.2, sir, of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act?
A provision of an act that provides for a person or body to approve any work or expenditure shall not be construed as giving that person or body any power with respect to the entire procurement proceedings.
So let us assume for argument's sake, the Honorable Linturi, we know it is not proven, but we can assume it for argument's sake. If we assume for argument's sake that you indeed approved some procurement decision, would the section you just read justify imposing liability on you?
No.
No. I want to show you again section 69. Section 69(1) of the same law, which is, Honorable Chair, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. Can you read it to the committee?
All approvals relating to any procedures in procurement shall be in writing and properly dated, documented, and filed.
So we have been told approvals must be in writing, dated, and filed. This accusation against you, which runs 10 times in this motion, have you been shown the writing through which you supposedly approved public procurement decisions?
No.
As a matter of fact, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, do Cabinet Secretaries approve matters relating to government operations in writing or orally?
In writing.
In writing. Would I be correct to say that is actually a constitution of command?
Precisely.
So we have a motion here accusing you 10 times, quote unquote, approving public procurement decisions. Have you seen any writing in hand of that approval?
I haven't.
Have you seen any that is typed?
None.
Have you seen any in electronic version?
None.
None. So you will agree, therefore, whichever way we look at this matter, to the best of your knowledge, sir, has this allegation been made out? Has it been proved?
It's not.
I want to show you again provisions of the Procurement Act. Honorable Chair, I'm about to refer to section 44 and 45. Please read to the Honorable Committee the heading for section 44. What is the title of that section of the Procurement Act?
Responsibilities of the accounting officer.
Responsibilities of the accounting
Officer.
Does that section, to the best of your knowledge, impose any responsibility on the cabinet secretaries?
No.
No. But can you read for us subsection 1, sir?
An accounting officer of a public entity shall be primarily responsible for ensuring that the public entity complies with the Act.
So, who bears, according to the decree by Parliament, responsibility for public procurement decisions?
The accounting officers.
Are you the accounting officer of the Ministry of Agriculture?
I am not.
Are you, sir, the accounting officer of the National Cereals and Produce Board?
I am not.
Let us go to section 45. What is the heading?
Corporate decisions and segregation of responsibilities.
Two things. Corporate
Decisions. And
does that idea of corporate decisions, is it consistent with a single big guy, or does it connote a collegial and structured decision making?
a structure and decision.
Structured decision making. When he talks of segregation of responsibilities, does that leave any room for someone without an assigned duty in the procurement process to interfere with it?
No.
But let's go to 5, subsection 5.
Or 45.
Yes. What does it say, sir?
For the avoidance of doubt, all public officers or state officers involved in procurement or asset disposal processes shall bear responsibility for their actions and omissions.
So it says state officers, and you are one, sir, if they are involved, the operative word being involved, then they shall bear responsibility, isn't it?
Yes.
Has any material been placed before this committee to show any involvement on your part?
Not at all.
But it also says, sir, their involvement is not just generic, but for their specific acts and omissions. To the best of your knowledge, has this committee been shown any specific act on your part?
No.
This part 5, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, what is this title just above 44 of the statute you're reading? What is the title of the statute? The heading of that chapter of the statute. What is the
Part 4? Part
Yes,
5.
part 5.
Internal organization of procuring entities.
So, this part as a section 44 you confirm, which you just read, on the roles of accounting officers. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
It has a section 45 on corporate decisions and segregation of responsibilities.
Yes.
It also has a section 46 on the face of it, as part of the segregation of responsibilities, a body called an evaluation committee.
Yes.
Were you ever part of the evaluation committee that processed these tenders?
No.
Okay. The next section is 47, about the procurement function. Please read 47.1.
A procurement function shall be handled by procurement professionals whose qualifications are recognized in Kenya.
So it says all procurement functions must be handled by procurement professionals.
Yes.
Are you a procurement professional?
No.
It has a 48 on an inspection and acceptance committee. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Were you, sir, part of the inspection and the acceptance committee for the procurement of the fertilizer in question?
I was not.
It has a section 49 on procuring agencies. And yesterday we were shown some agency agreements. It talks of sector-specific procurement agencies. Were you an agent in any procurement of the NCPB?
No.
It talks of consortium buying. Were you involved in any aspect of consortium buying?
No.
So that we don't spend too much time, Honorable Minister, we have this chapter that is heading at just the next section, which I haven't shown you, about transfer of responsibility. In that structure, those are not my words, corporate segregation of responsibilities. Do we have any role? We have seen evaluation committees, we've seen agents, we've seen accounting officers, and many other things. Have we seen, can we see anywhere in that chapter of the Procurement Act a role for the Cabinet Secretary?
Not at all.
Sir, in number B, you are accused of, that is page 3, Honorable Chair, of gross violation of Article 46, and the word used through and through is that it appears, Honorable Linturi. The allegation is looking at you, the mover formed the impression. 1B, Roman 1.
This document doesn't appear to have a B.
That will be page 3.
There's Roman 2, Roman 3.
No, there's Roman 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Okay. I think we are running into that problem, Chair, of pagination and whatnot, but it's okay, it's not a major issue. We'll get there shortly. And Chair, because I said the refraction errors, I plan to dedicate 1 hour to Mr. Mawira so the committee can warn me once we reach 3 hours, then my reader can do 1 hour. Have you found it, Mheshimiwa?
Yes.
It is said there that it appears you have committed. And my question to you, the allegation is that it appears. Can you see that word appears?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, can we just look at people and based on how they appear, we conclude they are grossly violating the Constitution?
It's not possible.
If I look at you and I don't like your face, would that be a valid ground for saying it appears this person has committed a gross violation?
No.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, this allegation of appears, repeated 10 times in this motion, as the mover disclosed these things is able to see with his eyes that we all can't see. As this showed how it appears that you have committed a gross violation of the Constitution. I'll rephrase. Let's stick to B for now. You are accused of violating consumer rights to the right of goods and services of reasonable quality and protection of their health, safety, and economic interests. Are you a distributor of any goods that are at the inquiry before this committee?
No, I'm not.
Are you a manufacturer of any of the goods that are in the inquiry?
No.
But the Honorable Linturi, do your duties as Cabinet Secretary extend to testing goods so that you're sure they're of the right quality? Is that your duty as Cabinet Secretary?
No.
As a matter of fact, Honorable Linturi, do you even have the qualifications that would enable you to know this is fake fertilizer and this is genuine fertilizer?
I don't.
Would I be right therefore to say, as Cabinet Secretary, you are wholly dependent on the advice and judgment of independent agencies of state on this matter?
Correct.
In paragraph C, it says, sir, again you appear to have violated Article 73. What is your response?
I have not.
Has any material to the best of your knowledge been placed before this committee to show how you were supposed to have violated this article?
None.
Let's go to ground 1B. Alleged violation of Article 201. Sir, what is your response to this?
I am not, or I did not violate Article 201. No.
As a matter of fact, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, you having no role as per the statute, is it possible for a person who by law has no business being involved to violate that article in a procurement context?
No.
Let's go to ground 1E. And I would want you to be shown Article 152(5). Can you read Article 152(5)(a)?
Article 5, 1A reads as follows. The President may reassign a Cabinet Secretary, may dismiss a Cabinet Secretary. Do I continue to see?
Yes.
Shall dismiss a Cabinet Secretary if required to do so by a resolution adopted under clause 6 to 10.
So at page 5 of the motion, ground number E, the allegation is that you have breached a constitutional provision that speaks to the powers of the President. What is your response to that, sir?
It's very ridiculous, and that allegation can only be leveled against the President, and it is not possible for me to exercise presidential powers that I'm being alleged to have breached this section, this particular part of the Constitution.
It is also alleged in the same allegation, sir, that you breached paragraph 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the same article. Are those articles, let's assume for argument, Honorable Linturi, that you are as bad as you can possibly be. Would you be capable, even as the bad guy, of breaching those constitutional provisions?
It's not possible.
It is not possible. It is said, sir, that how you breached this constitutional provision, still on page 5, is that you sent a communication to the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock, correct?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, has that committee completed its work?
It hasn't.
It hasn't. Is the mover of this motion a member of that committee?
No, he isn't.
Would you agree with me, sir, that only that committee by resolution can accuse you of misleading it?
Correct. Chair, I can only be accused through that committee unless the standing orders have changed. But when I was here, the standing orders required the committee to table its report, debated by Parliament, adopted by Parliament, and that is when you can comfortably say Parliament has taken a position on a matter of allegations, therefore have been ratified by Parliament. So at this stage you can't.
You can't. But it is also said that this matter you are alleged to have lied with relates to GPC, the Atomite Industries. What is the date given of the agreement in question as per that motion?
That the 1st of March 2022.
Now, when you read Roman 1, it says that the Cabinet Secretary appears to have done this when you lied. Were you the Cabinet Secretary on the 1st of March 2022?
I was not.
You were not.
Yes.
But you have also been accused of lying to that committee on agriculture that this product is a soil conditioner. Has the mover of this motion placed any material to show that that product was anything other than a soil conditioner? Is there any evidence before the committee to show that GPC, the information, is not a soil conditioner?
But it isn't any evidence that has been tabled before the committee to the contrary.
You have, again on Roman 2 of Ground Isa, you have accused of overseeing the implementation of the budgets of the NCPB. As the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, do your duties extend to overseeing the implementation of the budgets of the NCPB?
No.
Are you the controller of budgets, sir?
No.
And are you the accounting officer of the NCPB?
I'm not.
Are you the Auditor General?
No.
Let's go to allegation number 2. On page 6. The claim there, sir, the first claim was about your looks, that when we look at you, the ones we have just exhausted, Honorable Linturi, was that you appear to be a crook. The allegation is appears. Here now, the allegation is that there are serious reasons, not just reasons, for believing that you have committed crimes under the penal code. What is your response, sir?
I have not.
In 2A, they cite a letter by Ahmed Nasir. To the best of your knowledge, has Ahmed Nasir come to testify against you?
No.
But Honorable Linturi, lawyers write letters every day on behalf of their clients. To the best of your knowledge, would a lawyer's letter without more be a good reason to dismiss a cabinet secretary from office?
It can't. It can't form basis.
As a matter of fact, in this litigious and controversial country of ours, are you aware of any cabinet secretary who has never been the subject of a demand letter by some lawyer?
I'm yet to get in.
So, would any cabinet secretary survive in office if the threshold for removal was that some lawyer, whether eminent or not, wrote some letter?
Not only cabinet secretaries, anyone holding public office will have a problem.
They would never survive if the test was some lawyer.
Correct.
Not even if the lawyer is very famous and eminent?
It is not possible.
Okay.
Can't be around.
It is said, sir, that in this letter by Ahmed Nasir, you tried to intimidate a Mr. Davesh of Kel's Chemicals. To the best of your knowledge, we sat here yesterday. Have you seen any affidavit by Mr. Davesh of Kel's Chemicals swearing that you intimidated him?
I haven't.
Did he come to the committee to testify to these alleged threats?
No. Unless he is the person the committee being asked for.
Are you aware, sir, of anything that may have hindered Mr. Devesh from coming to this committee and say these things that his eminent lawyer says?
No.
You are also accused there on page 6, sir, of ordering the closure of factories. Do your duties as cabinet secretary extend to opening and closing factories?
No.
But as a matter of fact, the Honorable Linturi, you and I have read this motion and you know how many times. Have we seen any evidence of you closing a factory?
No.
Let's go to page 7. From and 1 at the top. The accusation there is the conduct of one Franklin Medical Linturi, acting, quote unquote, Honorable Chair, acting in his role as the Cabinet Secretary. Then they cite a decision by the High Court, Honorable Lady Justice Omundi, of 30th November 2021. Were you the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture? Because the allegation is whatever you say to have done, you are doing a quote unquote acting in your role as the Cabinet Secretary. Were you the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture as of the date of this judgment?
No.
It is said in that same allegation, sir, that the Honorable Lady Justice Omundi ruled against you on these family, criminal, civil, and commercial disputes. Is that correct?
No, it's not correct.
Is this dispute, sir, one of those that were yesterday called love and affection disputes? This petition number E068, the subject of the ruling mentioned there.
Unfortunately, it is.
It is. And of course, we were told there were 32 others.
Yes.
What do you want to tell this tribunal about these 32 love and affection disputes?
One thing is that I have a conscience, and I'm always very faithful to my conscience, and that is why I meant full disclosure without being prompted. Even when I came when I went before Committee of Parliament during my vetting, because I had nothing to hide, and I wanted the country to understand, to know Linturi